Guys, do subscribe the Gate Hunt and press the bell icon to receive notifications on latest jobs updates, Gate talks and video lectures on Gate and IES.
Hello guys, welcome to the 9th lecture of ICT of GS for IES. So today we will be starting our discussion from the point where we had left yesterday. So yesterday we were talking about the types of MAC protocol. We had talked about the random access protocol. So let us now talk about the second type of MAC protocol, that is controlled access MAC protocol. So in the controlled access MAC protocol, the name itself is saying that access is in controlled manner, which means that one station is having the entire control, and if the next station is willing to use that channel, it has to get the permission from another station, which means that in controlled access protocol stations, we are having master slave relationship. Guys, some examples of this controlled access MAC protocol are poll, select, reservation, and token passing. Guys, moving on to the third type of MAC protocol, it is channelized access MAC protocol. So in this, the stations shares the channels with respect to time, frequency, code, and space. So for example, if the stations are sharing channel with respect to time, the corresponding channelized access protocol is called TDMA. Whereas if the stations are sharing channel with respect to frequency, then the corresponding channelized access protocol is called FDMA. In the same way, if the stations are sharing channel with respect to code, then the corresponding channelized access protocol is called CDMA. And if the stations are sharing channel with respect to space, then the corresponding channelized access protocol is called SDMA. So guys, here I have written the full form of all these four terms. So TDMA stands for time division multiple access, FDMA stands for frequency division multiple access, CDMA stands for code division multiple access, whereas SDMA stands for space division multiple access. Guys, in IES 2018, one question directly came from this topic, which was about the full form of CDMA. So from ICT networking topic in IES 2018, we had this question, that what is the full form of CDMA. So you need to remember the full forms of all these four terms from IES point of view. Therefore, using all these MAC protocols, the data link layer is able to do the access control. Guys, moving on, let us talk about the next functionality of a data link layer, that is, it provides physical addressing. Guys, this physical addressing is also called MAC address or host address. Therefore, what is the definition of this host address or physical address is? Guys, for example, if you consider that this is a network, in this network we have several systems like this, and for each system we will assign a number. So guys, this number is called a physical address of the systems in a network, which means that in order to identify each system in a network, we are assigning a number, and that number is called host address. For each host, we will assign a number. That is, for each system, we will assign a number, and that is called a host address. And this host address must be unique with respect to the network. So this is what physical address is. So the data link layer provides this physical address to each system in a network. Guys, moving on, the next functionality of a data link layer is it provides node to node delivery. Guys, this node to node delivery is also called hop to hop delivery. So let us consider that there is a sender which is connected to a receiver, and there is a very long distance between the sender and receiver. So we have placed a connecting device between this sender and receiver. So in order to make the data transmission from sender to receiver, first the sender has to implement this delivery, which means that it has to hand over data to the controlling device. This is called node to node delivery. So this node to node delivery takes place in the following cases. First one is if the data transmission takes place between sender and intermediate device, if the data transmission takes place between intermediate device and another intermediate device, and third one is if the data transmission takes place between intermediate device and a receiver. So this is also called a node-to-node delivery. So this type of delivery is performed by data link layer. Guys, moving on, let's talk about some features of next layer of OSI reference model, that is the network layer. So the first point is PDUs supported in network layer are packets. So the data format supported in network layer is packet. Whereas in case of data link layer, PDUs were frames, and in case of physical layer, PDUs were bits. Guys, second point is network layer is responsible for routing. Third point is network layer is responsible for congestion control. It is responsible for fragmentation. It provides logical address and it performs end-to-end delivery. So guys, let us talk about each of these terms in detail. Guys, what does this routing means? In previous class, we have seen that routing is performed by a router. Therefore, routing means the process of finding the shortest path among multiple paths between sender and receiver. So network layer is responsible for routing among all the OSI reference model layers. Guys, moving on, let us discuss that what does this congestion control means. Guys, congestion control refers to congestion prevention and congestion avoidance. Guys, first of all, let us talk about what does this congestion means. Guys, let us say that I have a apple and this is my throat size through which I want to take the whole apple at the same time. So can I have the whole apple all at a time? No. So here this apple is representing incoming data file size and my throat is representing the network capacity. So as the incoming data size is very high compared to the network size, so I will feel congestion here. Therefore, congestion can be defined as a situation which occurs in a network when the incoming packet arrival rate is higher than network capacity. And what is congestion control? It is congestion prevention and congestion avoidance. So this network layer is responsible for congestion control. Guys, moving on, what does this fragmentation means? Guys, fragmentation refers to process of dividing the large data units into unequal sized small data units. So each of these small data units is referred as a fragment. So guys, network layer is responsible for fragmentation. Guys, moving on, what does logical address means? So physical address we have seen in case of data link layer. Now we will see logical address. Guys, this logical address is also called network address. So what do we mean by network address? Guys, it is clearly defining that there is an address which we have assigned to the network. So guys, let us say that this is an internet, and in this internet there are three networks, that is network 1, network 2 and network 3. So guys, for each network we will assign a number. So this number is called the network address and this number is also unique with respect to the internet. So as I have assigned number 1 for this network, number 2 for this network and number 3 for this network. So guys, as we know from the definition of internet that internet is a collection of interconnected networks. So among each network here we will have a interconnection. And each network is having a number which is called the network address and this network address must be unique. Now guys, coming to the host address, let us consider that this is our internet and this is network 1, this is network 2 and this is network 3, and in this network 1 I am having several hosts and each host is having an address which is called the host address. So host address is unique with respect to a network and network address is unique with respect to an internet. So host address is unique with respect to only network and not with respect to internet, which means the same host address can be given to two systems in different networks. That is, let us consider in this network 1 I have given host address as 1 to this system. Then in network 2 also I can give the same number to some other system, which means that the host address is unique only with respect to a network. Guys, moving on, what does this end-to-end delivery means? So guys, let us assume that this is sender and this is receiver, and there is some intermediate device placed between these two. So in data link layer, we studied that when data transmission takes from sender to intermediate device or intermediate device to receiver, then we termed it as node-to-node transmission. So end-to-end delivery means both these transmissions combined, that is, data transmission from sender to receiver. So guys, network layer performs this end-to-end delivery. Guys, moving on, let's talk about the next layer of OSI reference model, that is the transport layer. So guys, some features of transport layer are that the data format supported by transport layer is segment, that is the PDU in transport layer is segment. Moreover, transport layer can do connection management. So guys, what does this connection management means? This connection management means that the transport layer can do connection establishment as well as the connection release. So whenever there is a data transmission between sender and receiver, connection must be established first. And after the data transmission, this connection must be released. So this connection establishment and connection release is taken care by transport layer of OSI reference model. Guys, moving on, next functionality of transport layer is it is responsible for flow control. So along with data link layer, transport layer is also responsible for flow control in OSI reference model. Guys, transport layer is also responsible for error control along with the data link layer. And the transport layer is also responsible for congestion control along with the network layer. Guys, moving on, transport layer provides port address. As we have studied that network layer provides logical address or network address, whereas data link layer provides physical address or MAC address. Similarly, here transport layer provides port address. So you need to remember only this, that transport layer provides port address. There is no need to go in deeper concepts about what is port address. Moreover, transport layer provides process to process delivery. Guys, moreover, transport layer is responsible for segmentation. Now, what is this segmentation? Guys, if you remember, in fragmentation, we discussed that fragmentation refers to dividing of large data into unequal sized data units. Now, the segmentation refers to dividing large sized data units into equal sized data units. So guys, this segmentation is performed by transport layer in OSI reference model. Guys, moving on, let's talk about the next layer of OSI reference model, that is the session layer. So the data format supported by session layer or PDUs in session layer is message. Guys, moreover, this session layer is responsible for session management, which means session establishment and session release. So guys, a session can be anything, that is opening your Gmail ID, opening your SBI net banking ID, or opening your IRCTC ID. So guys, session establishment and session release of such sessions is seen by a session layer in case of OSI reference model. Guys, moving on, next functionality of session layer is that it is responsible for password validation. So while we are trying to have a session with IRCTC server, if username and password are incorrect, an error message pops up that it is an invalid password. So this is known as password validation and it is done by session layer of OSI reference model. Guys, moving on, session layer is also responsible for synchronization. So guys, what is this synchronization? Guys, data synchronization means to synchronize, that is making same single set of data between two or more devices, automatically copying changes back and forth. For example, if I am having one mobile in Delhi and I am having another system, say my laptop in Mumbai. So there is a contact list in my mobile and the same contact list is available in my desktop system. So guys, if I make any changes in this contact list in my mobile, then the same changes gets automatically appeared in my desktop which is in Bombay. So this is what synchronization refers to. So guys, this session layer is responsible for data synchronization. Moreover, session layer is also responsible for dialog control. Guys, moving on, let's talk about the next layer of OSI reference model, that is presentation layer. So the main functionalities of presentation layer are that the data format supported by presentation layer is again message, and it is responsible for encryption. Guys, this encryption is the process of converting the plain text into cipher text. Guys, this encryption terminology is generally used in the network security or information security, and that we will see in the next lecture. Guys, moving on, next functionality of presentation layer is it is responsible for compression. So guys, this compression can be defined as the process of reducing the size of data without any data loss. Can be widely classified into two forms, that is lossy compression and lossyless compression. So in lossy compression techniques, we can reduce the data size, but some data loss can be there. And examples of lossy compression techniques are MPEG and JPEG. Whereas in lossyless compression technique, we can reduce the data size without any data loss. And examples of some softwares of lossyless compression technique are WinRAR and WinZip. Guys, moving on, next functionality of presentation layer is it provides syntax and semantics to the message. So guys, this syntax refers to structure of a message, whereas semantics refers to meaning of a message. So this presentation layer provides structure to a message and meaning to a message. Guys, moving on, next functionality of presentation layer is that it is responsible for translation. So guys, as you know, in Facebook, we have an option any data from Hindi to Telugu or Hindi to Bengali or Hindi to English or from any language to some other language. So this translation is performed by the presentation layer in OSI reference model. Guys, moving on, next functionality of presentation layer is that it is responsible for password verification. Guys, as we have discussed earlier that the session layer is responsible for password validation, but here we are seeing that presentation layer is responsible for password verification. So now what does this password verification means? Guys, let us say if you want to create a Gmail account, then you will have to do sign up process, and there you have two fields, password and confirm password field. So while you are creating the password, you have to follow rules set up by Gmail server to create a password. Like password must contain at least one special character and it should contain these number of characters. So these rules must be satisfied by you in order to create an account in Gmail. Otherwise, it won't allow you to create a password. So that is what password verification is, which is done by presentation layer in OSI reference model. Guys, moving on, next layer of OSI reference model is application layer. So the data format supported by application layer is again message. Guys, this application layer is responsible for email services. Guys, this email services means that are we able to create mail, forward mail or delete mails. Whatever work we want to do with respect to a particular mail, all of them comes under email services. So this application layer is responsible for these types of email services. Moreover, application layer is responsible for directory services. Guys, what does this directory services means? It means in email system are we able to create different labels or folders or not. So here each label can be considered as a directory. Guys, next functionality of application layer is it is responsible for file transfer. Guys, this file transfer means in email systems are we able to attach files and are we able to transfer files from one location to another or not. Moving on, the next functionality of application layer is that it is responsible for remote login. So remote login refers to accessing two desktops with one login. So is it possible or not? Yes, it is possible to access two desktops with one login, and some examples of the softwares which are used nowadays to access two desktops with one login are TeamViewer and VirtualBox. So alright guys, this is the end of OSI reference model, and we can surely expect a question in IAS exam from OSI reference model. So what is a reference model? It is a blueprint of how data transfer is taking place between sender and receiver. So alright guys, that's it about ICT networking. From the next lecture, we will start with the next chapter in information and communication technology, which is ICT networking security or ICT information security.
Guys, do hit the like button and do subscribe the Gate Hunt and press the bell icon to receive notifications on latest jobs updates, Gate talks and video lectures on Gate and IES.